Happy Halloween 2025. And in remembrance of Halloween and everything, I want to make a video about my favorite universal monster, creature from the Black Lagoon. And I actually had the chance to meet Ricou Browning, the man who played the creature in all the underwater sequences. His name was Ricou Browning. I met him in 2004, and it was at a comic book convention. It was like a sci-fi slash comic book convention in Fort Lauderdale. And it was called, I think it was called Florida SuperCon or something else, but they don't have this convention anymore. Not this specific one, because this convention was geared towards sci-fi. And he wasn't in the room with all the celebrities. He was in the room outside where the comic books were being sold. And this is such a classic universal monster. But let me tell you about Ricou Browning. Ricou Browning was a championship swimmer. And he swam with the U.S. Air Force. And he was a professional swimmer, a professional diver. He was in all the creature from the Black Lagoon movies as the creature in the underwater sequences. So this is, to me, my number one celebrity that I've ever met. Now, I was just listening. I got to meet him. I got to shake Ricou Browning's hand. Went to this convention with my dad in 2004. And my dad was really the one to talk to him. But before I had met him, I was born watching Creature from the Black Lagoon. You know, Creature from the Black Lagoon probably has to be one of the first movies I ever rented from Blockbuster. So, and all three of them. Once I saw the first one, I saw the other two. I don't know if there's four, and so when I met him, we did ask him, "Are there plans for a remake?" And he told us, the studio. This was back in 2004, right? Almost 20 years ago. And Ricou Browning, he told us that the studio have gotten together and talked about making a remake, but they just haven't gotten to it. And, 20 years later, we still don't have that Creature from the Black Lagoon remake. From what I heard, James Wan was interested in remaking it. Hey, great. Because that's one universal monster that I want to see a remake of, is the creature, right? Those mummy movies were great, and I even like the Tom Cruise mummy movie. The werewolf movies haven't been as great, right? As the American Werewolf in London, as the Howling. So they got to work on the werewolf stuff. And we need a remake of Creature from the Black Lagoon. For sure. He's one of the classic Universal monsters. So, I just wanted to talk about my experience in meeting Ricou Browning. And these are the types of celebrities that really matter. These are the types of celebrities that you really want to meet. Because when you think of Hollywood, right? You think of Frankenstein, you think of that classic Hollywood, maybe you think of James Bond. But everybody, if they don't know the name of the creature, everybody, just by looking, oh, that's Gill-man. They might not know him by name, but they know that this creature stands out. and also, what an amazing person in meeting him, because I love swimming, so he was a professional swimmer. and he had done it with the U.S. Air Force. And he worked on in entertainment sets and in movies. Definitely what he's known for is The Creature from the Black Lagoon, which is a classic. Forever will it be remembered. Those Creature from the Black Lagoon movies, they are Universal Hollywood classics. So he was a professional swimmer with the U.S. Air Force. He was a championship swimmer and diver. And I had met him back in 2004, me and my dad. And I was able to get this signed, and I bought it. And just, I'm so glad I was able to support a piece of Hollywood that is so important. You know, those Creature from the Black Lagoon movies, that is classic horror to me. You know, I'm not a big fan of the Psycho movies, but out of all those classic horror, or the Hitchcock, right? The most rewatchable of the classic horror movies to me is Creature from the Black Lagoon, because it puts you right into the story. They're in the Everglades. They get stuck in the Everglades, and this monster from the deep is hunting them. So we never get movies like this anymore. And still to this day, try watching one of the Blu-ray or 4K versions. Still to this day, it is excellent. And you know what? It's a horror movie that you could watch. You could show your kids. You can watch at any age. But the monster is still horrific, right? And the scenes are unique because they had to film them underwater. So if you read about how they made the underwater sequences, right? If you read about how they made the underwater sequences, they had hoses underwater where Ricou could breathe, and he was an experienced diver in terms of holding his breath and everything. So they had people giving him air and stuff underwater. But do you love Creature from the Black Lagoon? Tell me. Comment your thoughts below. What are the classic horror movies to you? Happy Halloween 2025. In remembrance of Ricou Browning, because he passed away in 2023. And he is also from Florida. So, in remembrance to Ricou Browning.